Definitely, man. Well, speaking of losing,
Yeah.
people are kind of going nuts here. There's been a lot of cryptic, interesting conspiracy stuff from centering around potentially the mastermind of Hideo Kojima on the next project, potentially. And this was really like there were some YouTube videos and they were getting high traction on these conspiracies here.
I'm not in my head, but go ahead.
But very interesting stuff here. So according to Input, they kind of have this weird cryptic site here, but it says here in quote, "What if a game isn't a game? It is actually a piece of covert marketing created to stroke interest in another, more real game. Say, for example, a brand new installment of a famous survival horror series, Silent Hill." So they say, let us explain. It says here in quote, "The forefront hypothetical isn't just a thought of exercise, it's real, ongoing conspiracy being espoused by superfans of Metal Gear mastermind Hideo Kojima, many of whom are convinced that an upcoming PS5 title called Abandoned is actually a front for the famed game director's next project." It says here, in the Blue Box conspiracy, everything revolves around a game called Abandoned, a survival horror title from the Dutch indie developers Blue Box Game Studios. Abandoned was originally announced by Sony via a fairly bizarre trailer in April of this year and is being billed as a cinematic horror survival shooter that emulates realistic survival in a first-person perspective set in a massive, detailed open-world environment. Or at least that's what Hideo Kojima wants you to think, according to an emerging group of Redditors. Gotta love Redditors, man. Recently, a subreddit with thousands of followers has begun connecting the dots between Abandoned and its apparent developers, Blue Box Game Studios, and Hideo Kojima in a conspiracy that alleges that Blue Box is actually a front for marketing misdirection orchestrated by Kojima himself. According to Blue Box theorists, Abandoned is actually a publicity stunt for a new installment of Silent Hill, a franchise that Kojima has in the past been involved with before splitting with Konami over creative differences. As wild as it sounds, the Blue Box conspiracy isn't pulled entirely from the ether. There's actually some precedent for Kojima engaging in misdirection in the past. For example, around 2015, Kojima created a fake game studio with a fake director played as a very real actor to promote a game that was later revealed to be Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. An actor hired by Kojima even went as far as to give an interview about the Fugazi game using the pseudonym Joachim Morgren, the anagram for Hideo Kojima. Okay, so what about Abandoned? So given Kojima's precedent penchant for subversive marketing in the past, superfans of the game designer have latched onto Abandoned for several inconclusive but admittedly strange connections. I'm gonna almost end quote here, but for instance, a now deleted tweet from Blue Box said that Abandoned was actually a codename for a game that will start with an S and end with an L, i.e. Silent Hill. Kojima recently posted a tweet discussing two books that use both words Silent and Hill. Blue Box, a relative unknown in the game world, claims that the staff of more than 50, yet its LinkedIn page lists only the company's director. Konami publishers of Silent Hill recently teased the new merchandise for the franchise, and Hideo Kojima and box director Hassan Kamram share the same initials. You get the point. End quote. Man, the internet wants Silent Hill to be real so bad.
Here's my thing. I've said it before. I'll say it again. It's a new quarter. Time for a Kojima rumor. It's like every 3 months, like clockwork. Whether this is based, whether there's fact behind this or not, I'm just still going with every 3 to 6 months, there's a new Kojima rumor. There just is. Like how many times on this show we've heard it?
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying this won't be true. No, here's why I'm not saying, the only reason why I think this is not entirely, this is double negative, entirely not impossible.
Yeah.
Is, okay, number one, Capcom did it. Remember Capcom's game was advertised as The Village for months before it became Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, that's true.
Because remember, like, and that when that one quote unquote the true quote unquote reveal trailer of the village where it faded out and became, you know, Roman numeral 8. And then people are like, what? 8 what? And then it was announced Resident Evil 8.
Right.
So it's not unheard of one game being called something and then actually being called something else. That's not unheard of.
Yeah.
Kojima clearly like totally faking a company and a person and pulling a Harry Potter Tom Riddle. Voldemort, is also not unheard of.
Yeah.
But to a point, this has the feelings of like back when Steam and Valve were good, and like Gabe would do an interview and have 3 pencils on his desk. All 3 pencils. It means Half-Life 3. Like it has that vibe.
Yeah, there's some of that evidence where like, guys, like take this off the board.
It had a vibe of like, oh, he posted a picture with 3 stuffed animals behind him. The Half-Life 3 confirmed. Like it, because that's how it was. You remember those days? Like I'm not joking. It was crazy.
We were
shit.
starving for Half-Life 3. Yeah,
it was crazy shit of like. Again, he would have an interview or post a picture. It's like his shirt has 3 colors. Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It was that bad. It was that bad.
It was.
And again, half of this. I will say this: of all the recent Kojima conspiracy and rumors, this is the closest one potentially based in facts they link to other trends that he's done.
Yeah.
The other half of this again is on par with he has 3 fingers. Half-Life 3.
Yeah, it's like the Blue Box director and him, they have the same initials, like, guys.
Yeah.
Guys, come on.